So, we are live for a voice coaching today, and I'm going to start and jump right in with some songs that are from the studio that I've coached some people on this week, and how I bring in some of the concepts from the mindfulness piece, the body work, mindset, and just musical mastery. And the first song I wanted to start with today was actually one I was literally just working on with somebody, and that was, oh my gosh, it was Dreams from Fleetwood Mac. And for this song, it's a lot of short phrases. Now here you go again, you say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to bring you down? And so we have these super short little phrases happening, and it can feel like they're a little bit disconnected and disjointed. But if we think of the breath as the single thread line through, and this breath is connecting everything, we can, instead of getting just, now here you go again, you say you want your freedom from Dreams, we can think of this inhale and then getting, now here you go again, you say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to bring you down? And that has two pieces to it, right? It has the anatomy piece where I'm taking that circle lip full ooh inhale. Now here you go again, you say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to bring you down? That's the first piece. But there's also the mindset piece of thinking this isn't just separated ideas. Now here you go again, you say you want your freedom. It's all one idea. And so I can connect it with the breath and with my mindset at the same time to get, now here you go again. You say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to bring you down? It's only right that you should away. And we go on and on. So that is one way that I was literally just working with a student on that song, and how we took it from this kind of choppy idea into something super connected, and something that with the breath and the mindset, but also that had some tension and release, right? We don't just want it to sound pedantic or the same all the time. We want these moments of, ooh, where's that going? And then, oh, okay, there's where it is. So that is one way, and so a few strategies you could add to a song to maybe make it a little bit more interesting for you to sing, maybe make it a little easier for you to sing. Sometimes when we put less pressure on what the notes are and what the rhythms are, we can really just enjoy the experience of what we're singing and what we're saying. So that was example number one for voice coaching for the week. I do have a few more examples, but if anybody wants voice coaching, just write a little message in here and be like, hey, I'd love to connect, and we will get you on the live. Um, but yeah, so right now, though, my other example of voice coaching from this week is actually a song I think of. No, I haven't done this one. Um, it was Take Me Home, Country Roads. And I was working on a student with this for a live performance, and they sounded fantastic on it. They were really free. Everything was really open, but they were very stoic. Take me home, country roads, to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama. Take me home, country roads. And they were just very, um, it felt like, okay, I'm singing. I sound good. Great. And so I challenged them to take a seat and do this song. So yes, they are going to perform it live and they're going to be standing and interacting with a crowd, but I wanted them to get into their body and experience what it feels like to ground into this song, right? To feel, take me home, country roads, and feel all of those holds. So by sitting, I'm able to have 2 points of connection with my body. I'm able to have my behind connected to the chair, and I'm able to have my feet connected to the floor, right? And so on those held notes, I had them push the earth away at their feet, and I had them really ground into their seat. Okay. So if I do this again on the roads, I'm going to push away. Here we go. Take me home, country roads, to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama. Take me home, country roads. And that is allowing the performance and the sound to have a little bit more liveliness. We hear that really rich timbre. At the same time, it's kind of bright. It's not super twangy, but it has that brightness to it. And all we did was we added this body connection, this grounding through the feet and through the seat. And it opens up that rich vocal apparatus. So you might have noticed like my mouth got a lot taller and I'm really allowing my inner space to just ring, ring, ring. But I didn't have to talk about any of that. All we did was work into the body, right? Push away at the feet and at the seat. Then to move this into more of performance world, right? They're not going to be sitting singing this. They're going to be standing. So to move this into that, I had them set up with their dominant foot forward and their other foot back. So right or left doesn't really matter. And in a performance, if you have a microphone, right, we can kind of lean into the crowd. You've probably seen performers do this before. Yes, that could cut off here at the abdominal space, but it doesn't have to be this, a lean. It can just be a shift of weight, and I'm still aligned in my body here. So instead of pushing into the floor and my seat at a chair, I'm going to use this staggered stance of my feet, and I'm just going to gently weight into my back foot or my front foot, depending on what I need. And if I have that microphone and I lean in, it looks like I'm engaging with the crowd, right? This looks like a professional singer. This looks like you are engaging with your audience, but you're also engaging with yourself. You're giving yourself this grounding and this connection. So let's do that again. Take me home. Take me home, country roads, to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama. Take me home, country roads. And I'm able to replicate what I did at the chair in this standing space. And again, I even felt more ring and vertical space happening in my mouth. And that sound was just pinging. I didn't have to talk about soft palate or mouth shape or any of that, or even breath for that matter. I was really just talking about where is my weight shifting to and how can I use my body to support my sound. So that is another way that I've coached this week. And that really supported my student in a very real world example. So I have one more coaching from this week to share. Again, if you want to get coaching, just pop a message in and I'll bring you on to the live. But this last one, I think is a song I had talked about in my 30 days that I had been working on with a student. I'm looking back. Yeah. It is. Yes, we worked on this. Um, and this is Listen by Beyonce. And we were talking about, I was talking about, I think, mode two in this last time. But with my student that's working on this song, we were moving it from listen, I am alone at a crossroads. I am at home in my own home. Yeah, I tried and tried. So they were very like mode two, had voice specific in the song, and trying to get it to more of a mixed place. So there's a little bit of mode one in there and mode two at the same time. Now, to like think about that and like the physical structures at the larynx that need to happen with one muscle set taking over for another one, we can't see any of that anatomy. So it becomes like kind of confusing. Like, what do you mean this? And you want some of both. Like, how do I do that? Because we can't tactilely change that. We just have to kind of go off of what our internal sensations are giving us. So I gave them a few different ways to try this to kind of start to move towards this mixed sound. And one was physical. So I had them make a triangle with their hands like this. And they went, listen, I am alone at a crossroads. I am at home in my own home. Yeah, I tried and tried to say what's on my mind. You should have known. And you can hear there's a little more mode one in there. That no, no, no. And that's coming in, but all I did was this. Now, the other piece I had them try was take the words away. Sometimes too much consonant and vowel information is just too much, and we just need to simplify it. And when I'm working on mix, I love the consonant vowel combo of nay. So I would have them go, nay, 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 and kind of go from there. You could add the nay with the hands like this. And now I'm getting a lot more mode one in with that mode two, which is exactly what I want, this beautiful mix. But I didn't have to talk about, like 60% mode two and 40% mode one. We're using these tactile and shift of vowel consonant to get there. Now I would have the student add the words back in, keep the triangle, but think nay. And they maybe even start with nay. So what if they went, nay, nay, I'm alone at a crossroads. I'm at home in my own home. Yeah, I tried and tried to say what's on my mind. You should have known. Oh, now I'm done believing you. You don't know what I'm feeling. I'm more than what you made of me. I follow the voice you gave to me. Now I gotta find my own. And now we have this beautiful mix of mode one and mode two. I'm doing it on words, but we're using these little tactile options to get our voice moving to where we want it to be. We didn't have to talk about how the musculature is working or what's taking over for what. I love that my students want to know that, and I definitely will give that to them. But the more we can put the work and the tools into the body, that's going to make it so much easier. So those are 3 examples today of how I coach and how you can use all different kinds of modalities, like the mindset idea and that breath connection, that single long, long breath through the circle lip ooh as a gateway in to make a shift, right? That was one way. Another gateway in was to talk about grounding and how our body is connecting to the song and using the body to support our sound, right? We don't have to take a bigger breath. We don't have to talk about like doing all kinds of body manipulations. We literally just pushed the earth away and shifted our weight. And then for listen, we can talk instead of just like talking about the specific musculature, we can just go to a tactile sensation with a really strategic vowel consonant combo to help us get there. And it can be just that. So I hope you've enjoyed these different moments of live coaching today. We will definitely do this again in July. But I also said that I had two surprises today. And the first surprise is that today at 5 p.m., the Driftless Folk School will be putting out their monthly folk school radio hour. And I had the absolute pleasure of getting to be interviewed along with Brennan by Julie in the studio in Viroqua in the radio studio. And that episode goes live today at 5. And I'd love for you, if you loved this voice coaching, if you're like, ooh, where else can I get more info like this or learn more about music making and what I do, that is going to be live at 5 today at the Folk School Radio Hour. If you search Driftless Folk School Radio Hour, you will find it. It also will be on Spotify and all sorts of places. So you can listen from anywhere. If you can't make it right at 5, you can listen from anywhere, anytime. Also with that, I will be at the Folk School's community celebration on July 5th doing a 2:00 microclass, totally free. I would love to see you there. And then another Value Your Voice class is coming up in August on the 23rd with the Folk School. So that's surprise number one is Folk School Radio Hour today at 5 or anytime after. And my second surprise is that for Substack, the 30 days to value your voice will be going away at the end of June. It will be part of the paid portal subscription. But it is also my birthday next month on the 4th of July. And to celebrate, I am doing a one-time paid subscriber sale for 37, because I'm going to be 37% off your yearly subscription or your monthly subscription, and that would last for the entire year. So if you did the monthly, you would get the 37% off every single month. If you do the year, you get the 37% off one time, one and done. And so that is a really good deal. I think the monthly ends up being in the $3 range, and I think the yearly is like 37 or something like that. And the 30 days to value your voice will be in that paid portal, so you can totally continue to take advantage of that, as well as all the new weekly content I have coming, which is I'm really looking forward to for where things are going in July. That offer has started. If you go on to the Substack and go to subscribe or update your subscription, that is an option already, and it will be available through the 7th. So give you a little time over the holiday weekend, because I get that we do different things on that day off, and having that time away can be really nice. So take advantage of that now through the 7th. And I hope to see you soon in the studio or on Substack or really anywhere, and engaging with voice work, because the more we value our voices, the more we can share ourselves with confidence and clarity in the world. So thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoyed today's coaching. I'll see you soon.